Guantanamo Bay Detention Center, a place of torture and injustice inflicted upon innocents who have been ripped away from their families. Their many vile torture methods include sexual assault, sleep deprivation, forced medication, temperature extremes, watching others being tortured, and waterboarding. Did you know the youngest detainee was 13 years old, the oldest was 89, and 9 detainees have died in custody. There are currently 107 detainees held in the U.S. Detention Center in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. Of them, 47 have been cleared for transfer, yet still remain behind bars. When elected in 2008, Obama pledged to close Guantanamo, but Guantanamo remains standing. Release of innocent prisoners slowed down, and many are still being imprisoned without a fair trial. Force feeding, beatings, and brutality continue. In the presidential campaign, neither of the two main candidates has addressed this issue. Guantanamo's closure is not imminent.
Second point, our legitimacy is reduced when we've got a Guantanamo that is open, when we suspend habeas corpus. Those kinds of things erode our moral claims that we are acting on behalf of broader universal principles, and that's one of the reasons why those kinds of issues are so important. We're going to lead by shutting down Guantanamo and restoring habeas corpus in this country so that we offer them an example.
I think that folks made a terrific point that we have to stand for human rights, and that should be part of the trade equation. It is harder for us to do it when we have situations like Guantanamo, where we've suspended habeas corpus. To the extent that we are not being true to our values and our ideals, that sends a negative message to the world, and it gives us less leverage then when we want to deal with countries that are abusing human rights. So I think it's part and parcel with a larger program of us restoring the traditions that made this country great and made us admired around the world.
There are a number of different things that you could do early pertaining to executive orders.
Right.
One of them is to shut down Guantanamo Bay. Mm-hmm. Another is to change interrogation methods that are used by U.S. troops. Are those things that you plan to take early action on?
Yes. I have said repeatedly that I intend to close Guantanamo, and I will follow through on that. I've said repeatedly that America doesn't torture, and I'm going to make sure that we don't torture. Those are part and parcel of an effort to regain America's moral stature in the world.
Time is running out fast for Obama and his administration to meet their human rights obligations on these issues. Remind Obama of his promise through the website www.gtmoclock.com. There have been many innocent prisoners released, but more than 100 remain behind bars, and we will not stop campaigning until they get justice. While governments should, of course, protect citizens from the threat of terrorism, this threat should never be used to justify the violation of human rights or to repress legitimate opposition and dissent. Find out more ways you could help through londonguantanamocampaign.blogspot.co.uk or closeguantanamo.org.